Hey, everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So today there's going to be certain beneficiaries of Social Security receiving deposits of up to $943 and $1,415. Once again, those are going out today, so you should have already received those deposits, plus a new proposed change for Social Security could mean even more money in the pockets of retirees every single year if this bill ends up passing, so we will be covering that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and over the past few weeks we've had a representative in the House. She is a Republican known by the name of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she's been threatening to bring up a vote to oust or remove the current House Speaker in Mike Johnson, just a few months removed from the former House Speaker, and Kevin McCarthy also being removed as the House Speaker. And now she's wanting to remove this House Speaker. Let's bring up another one, and they might simply eliminate that one as well. Her primary complaint against Johnson is that last week he passed a bill that increased funding for Ukraine. She believed that Republicans shouldn't be providing Ukraine with more funding, and she also believed that he had collaborated with Democrats to pass this bill somewhat behind her back and the backs of a few other Republicans. She felt that he shouldn't have brought the bill to the floor for a vote, but he went ahead and did so anyhow, and quite a few Republicans did vote in favor of it, so it wasn't just Democrats who supported it. Naturally, she wasn't too happy about that, and she recently announced that she would finally bring it up for a vote in an effort to boot him from office. The Democrats will genuinely support Mike Johnson and ensure that he remains the House Speaker, unlike Kevin McCarthy. This is in line with the Hill-Greenville plan to force a vote on Speaker Johnson, which is fortunate for Mike Johnson. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene on Wednesday announced she'll force a vote next week on whether to remove Speaker Mike Johnson, an extraordinary move highlighting the internal turmoil in the GOP, but it's also a move that is all but certain to fail after Democratic leaders said they would vote to protect the Speaker from her coup attempt. The announcement, made before AC reporters just outside the Capitol, followed weeks when Greene had attacked Johnson's leadership style and threatened to remove him from power, but declined to force action on her motion to vacate resolution, leading to widespread speculation that she was backing away from the effort after John received a glowing review from former President Trump. Her decision to finally trigger a vote on the resolution came one day after the top three House Democrats announced that they would vote to table a motion to vacate if it came to the floor, joining a number of rank-and-file Democrats who have said for months that they would shield Johnson from a conservative coup. So basically, we have a lot of Democrats coming out and saying that if Marjorie Taylor Greene does try to remove the current House Speaker Mike Johnson, that they are going to vote no on that. So whenever they removed Kevin McCarthy from House Speaker, we had all the Democrats vote in favor of that, so he ended up being removed. But this time around, Democrats said that we are going to back Mike Johnson. Said we are not going to allow Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few others Republicans to remove Mike Johnson from Speaker and then have to go like another month of voting in a new House Speaker because of the very fact that Mike Johnson worked with some of the Democrats for this new aid for Ukraine. They are not going to allow Marjorie Taylor Greene, now herself, and pretty much herself alone, and a few other Republicans who agree with her, to remove Mike Johnson as House Speaker. Now, in some other news, as far as Social Security goes today, there are going to be some fresh payments deposited. You more than likely already received this in your bank account, or however you receive your payment. But the first of two payments are going out today for beneficiaries of SSI. These payments are going to be right around $900 on average for individuals, and up to $14 is for couples. So according to as first of two SSI payments arriving on May 1, SSI 2 payments are being issued this month. So they say that two payments will be made in May. They say that the SSA makes SSI payments on the first of every month, unless the first falls on a weekend or a holiday, this means the May payment will be made on Wednesday, the 1st of May. However, since the 1st of June falls on a Saturday day, the June payment will be made on Friday, the 31st of May. To be clear, this is not an additional payment. It is just the June benefits being paid earlier. So once again, you'll be getting your first payment for SSI today, May 1st, and then your next payment is going to be coming on May 31 instead of June 1st, because June 1st is going to be falling on a Saturday. Now, according to Kiplinger, a proposed change to Social Security could result in more money for retirees. A new bill could result in an important change in Social Security cost of living adjustments that could benefit retirees. Representative Ruben Galeo and Senator Bob Casey aim to boost benefits in the Cess for Seniors Act. In other news regarding Social Security, there is a bill out there right now that really should be partisan, because I'm not sure who wants Earth to not be on board with this bill now. If this bill actually passes, what it would mean for retirees and everyone receiving Social Security benefits is that your annual cost of living adjustment would probably be just about every single year because of the way they would be calculating the benefits. Necessities like food, medication, and clothing, because current Social Security benefits have not kept up with rising cost under the new bill. However, the COLA would be based on the Consumer Price Index for Americans aged 62 or older, or CPI, as this price index reflects the cost incurred by older adults. More accurately, medical expenses and increasing burden on older adults are weighed more heavily in the CPE than in the CPIW. So they said that according to data from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, out-of-pocket healthcare expenses for individuals age 65 and older rose by 41%. From 2009 to 2019, going from $484 on average to $683, older individuals paid significantly more than the total population, which spend an average of $5,195 in out-of-pocket cost in 2019. Overall, older Americans spent 13.6% of their total expenditures on health compared to just 8.2% among all consumers. So really, this would just make the most sense. They should either be going off the CPIW or the CPI, whichever happens to be greater. And really, the CPI makes a lot more sense than the CPIW because, again, the CPZ what older Americans typically spend on. And why exactly would you base a cost living adjustment for people who are retired and receiving Social Security benefits? Why would you base the inflation index on something that you know younger Americans typically spend on, as opposed to one that weighs more like heavily on the things that you know perhaps your retirees will spend on, like healthcare expenses? So this bill makes complete sense. That's all we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found value in it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you could consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I really do hope that this bill is finally brought to a vote in both the House and the Senate and gets passed. After all, even though it wouldn't result in a massive $200 per month increase, something is still better than nothing at all. See you guys in the next video. Take care.